It's a pretty common thing for mountain bikers to ride with purpose-built shoes. Now, I'm not talking about clipless shoes. That's a different beast. Let's talk about flat pedal shoes. Now, this is footwear specifically designed for riding your mountain bike. They have tough rubber bottoms, they have stiff soles, minimum cushion, usually heavy but tough material making up the body of the shoe. Some say they are designed to match certain pedals, like these Crank Bro shoes, and they're matching pedals. Now, there are benefits to these shoes. They're durable, they're easy to clean, and they don't deform on the pedal while you're riding. But I found that this is at the cost of comfort. These things tend to be more work boot than sneaker. Now, we all have different feet, shape, size, arch, but some shoes fit better than others. Now, the shoe companies try to produce shoes that fit the average. Finding wide widths of mountain bike shoes is not an easy task. Not that I'm wide, but take these Crank Bro Stamp shoes, right? They're nice, they're durable, but they're a little tight in the toe area. Yes, they are sized correctly, they're just tight on my foot. What if you could wear whatever sneaker you wanted? Maybe a trail shoe, maybe even Vans. Yep. Vans used to be used in BMX riding back in the day, along with skateboarding. Vans come in many different colors and styles, almost all of them featuring the traditional Vans waffle tread. Now, no matter how many different colors and styles Crank Brothers has, or any of the other shoe manufacturers, they are not going to be able to compete with just the sheer different amount of Vans, just the different styles, colors. There's just huge amounts. And you also have DC shoes, right? There's just too many styles to compete with. So whether you're looking for fashion or you just like the way something feels, it is possible to use these. Now, one knock against Vans, or maybe any other sneaker you want to use, will be too much flex on the pedal. You can see how they flex, and after a while it starts to be uncomfortable during and after a ride. The Vans, they're not bad. They're pretty stiff here, but you know, they're made to bend, right? You can see after a while of using these on the trail, no matter how big your platform pedal is, they're gonna flex front and back. They're just going to, they're gonna deform. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but for me with my flat feet, and for most of you riders, you want a really stiff sole. So how can you use these? Now, you can alleviate this through some simple inserts like these carbon fiber shoe inserts. They're very thin and stiff, but flexible while walking, kind of like a regular mountain bike shoe. They just slip right inside your shoe. They're reversible. You want to pop them underneath your cushion. You don't want to put them on top. So these Vans have like the Pro Cush. These are nice. Look at that. You're not going to get that in a mountain biking shoe, right? So you pop that sucker in there. They come in a lot of different sizes, so you can get one that's just right for your shoe. And then you put your cushion back in there. There you go. And again, it's really thin. You don't notice it in there, but you do notice when you're stepping in here, when you have your foot in here, that these things, they just don't bend like they used to. So when you're out on the trail, these things are not going to deform when your weight is on them. They're going to be pretty stiff. So let's go for a ride and give them a try. Well, ride's over. Ride was great. I mean, it was awesome. I had a blast. I did some things that I've not tried before on Stillwell, so I mean, that was fun. The shoes didn't get in the way at all. You can see they held up pretty well. Right there, look at that. They weren't chewed up at all. So these are very durable. And we have the carbon fiber inserts right in here, right? These things are great. I mean, these things were stiff, but still had a little bit of flex. Not much, just a little bit. So when you're walking, you don't feel like you're wearing bricks. This worked for me. It might work for you. You could probably use those carbon inserts in just about any sneaker you wanted, but for something that's made a bit more for something flat like a pedal, Vans are a great choice. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. I'll see you out on the trail.